What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike. Today I am back with a little bit more bodybuilding content. You may notice that I'm looking distinctly darker in the beard. I am feeling much fucking better. I finally got myself put together and went to the gym last night for the first time since I got sick. I was shocked at how, honestly, I wasn't even expecting to be able to complete the workout. I have been bedridden, I'd say 90% or more of the day for like 3 weeks now. I've had very little energy to do anything, and I started talking to my wife and talking to some friends that I've made through this channel, and started feeling like, like the thing is, like, how can I know the difference between being lazy, and legitimately like taking it easy because I have like a medical reason to? And so the fact of the matter is that there's nothing I can do about my liver enzymes. They're going to go up or go down as they see fit. There's nothing I can do. And once I started getting calories back into my system, I started feeling like there was really no good reason that I shouldn't start pushing myself to get out of bed. And, because I think that laying in bed all day is not exactly stimulating your appetite. And so part of the reason that I don't have any energy is I'm eating such low calories, and I just felt like I gotta, I just can't lay there and wither. So I started really pushing my calories up, really trying to force feed for the last couple of days. And then last night I went to the gym, and I thought honestly that I was not gonna be able to perform at all. I was fully expecting to go in, do a couple sets, and be tapped out. And I was actually able to complete, within an exercise or two of a full workout. I probably normally on a fully functional day might have done a couple extra exercises. My strength was surprisingly good. I would say I was at, I don't know, I could do the math, probably 80% of my pre-illness strength. Which obviously is due in large part to the fact that I stayed on androgens this entire time. So to update you on my cycle before we get into the point of this video, I took a bunch of androgens out at one point when I was panicking over my liver enzymes, and then realized they're all injectables. There's no good reason to really be doing that. So currently I'm running 500 milligrams of Test E, 400 milligrams of Mast E, 200 milligrams of Nandrolone. I have not put the tren back into the system, and since it's been, I think we're around the 2-week mark of no tren, and considering the fact that I've been on tren for like a year straight now, since it's already running out of my system, I talked to my wife this morning. I said, you know what, I think I'm just gonna let it go. I think I'm gonna let it run completely out and just see how I feel. Let's not add 219 NOR compounds to the mix. I'm sweating a lot at night already. I think my body is clearing built up toxins. I absolutely puddled the bed last night to the point where I woke my wife up in the middle of the night and asked her to move as far as she could to the edge of we have a king size bed, so we have a lot of space, to move as far as she could to one side so I could get out of the soaking wet sheets. And eventually I had to move into the office. The bed was so fucked up. So I spent the rest of I spent half the night in my office bed back here. So I just feel like maybe putting the tren in right now is not the best idea because of all the sides, and I need to get my sleep. And I'm already having sweating, and I would like to be able to tell the difference between whether it's tren induced or something to do with my liver. So I'm going to leave the Nandrolone in there because I need a joint support. I don't want to lose that. So that's where we're at with the cycle. So I would just like to say, in light of for the point of making this video, thank you to everyone who's been very positive in the comments. I know I'm about to kind of argue against your points, but I do appreciate you guys being so positive. I've been very down on myself about the tremendous amount of weight that I've lost, and I'm seeing, there's a lot of people in the comment section saying, man, you look great. I think you look better like this. Your face is less puffy. You're more dry and peeled. And obviously all of those things are true. I'm carrying a lot less body water. I'm carrying less body fat. And I did luckily, again, likely thanks solely in part to the androgens, retain a lot of my muscle mass. It's hard for me to believe that I retained all of it. I don't know how that's possible, given the fact that I went so many days and had zero protein intake. If I had at least been able to get down 70, 100 grams of protein with all of the androgens, maybe I could have maintained it all. So I'm guessing somewhere along the line, I probably lost some muscle mass. As I said, I lost 2 inches in diameter around my shoulders. I lost 1 inch off my biceps, but admittedly that was pre adding carb. I've been eating a lot better for the last couple days, and last night I went to the gym and lifted, and so I got a pump back. So I probably should have taken some measurements before making this video, but that's not really the point of the video. So many of you have been very kind and trying to kind of lift my spirits and saying, hey man, we still think you look really great, despite the fact that you're fucking down to 192 from 214. But the thing that I think is interesting is, and actually I got another comment today on a video that I made like a year ago, where some guy was saying, man, I think you looked better at this point than you did when you were at 215. And so I think one of the things that a lot of people in my audience, the more I engage with people in the audience, the more I'm finding out a lot of people in my audience are not bodybuilders, which is shocking. I don't fully understand why people who aren't into bodybuilding watch my content. Obviously, thank you for doing so. Or at least they're either not as big as I am, or they don't have the same bodybuilding goals that I do. So a lot of people historically will talk about, a lot of people seem to think that I look my best in the 190s, like the middle to upper 190s. That's when I'm very dry and peeled and vascular, and I have much more defined abs. I'm not carrying water. My face is not at all or less puffy. And people will say, man, I think you look your best here. And I understand that you're offering that as a compliment, but please understand why I don't agree with you, and why it's like, a person can compliment you and they feel like they're saying something positive, but you disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree that I look better at 192 than I did at 214. But when I say that, but the thing is, because looks are subjective. So like what the general public considers to be a good look is not the look that I'm striving for. I want to look like a disgusting freak. That's my objective. My objective is not to look good. I'm not trying to build a fucking Brad Pitt or supermodel body. If I was, I would totally quit bulking. I would focus on peeling down my abs even tighter. Like I would need to gain no more body weight at all if I wanted to have the prototypical male, hot bod. That's not what I'm after. And I don't think that's really at all what bodybuilding is about. I mean, I guess if you're a men's physique bodybuilder, then yeah, like that's closer to the more acceptable range for the maximum number of people. My objective with bodybuilding is and has always been to look like a fucking freak. I don't want to look good to the average person. I want to look like a fucking freak. I want to be like, Rich Piana. I want to be walking through, walking down the beach, walking through the mall, wherever I go. I want to be turning heads and have people's jaws drop open because they're like, oh my God, this guy's fucking massive. That has always been the goal. I want to look good in the sense that I don't want to be 300 pounds and have no abs. I still want to have an athletic look. But I don't give a shit. Like so many fucking people were wearing me the fuck out in the comments when I'm sitting here like I'm making videos about how happy I am to be 214. This is the biggest I've ever been in my life. I feel so good about where my body's at. And it's like, well, what are you gonna do about your puffy face? I'm like, who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck if my head looked like a fucking pumpkin. If I was the size of fucking Big Ramy. I would rather have the most disgusting fucking pumpkin head and be 300 pounds jacked than to have a Brad Pitt body and a fucking lean face. I don't give a shit about looking good. I already have a girl. I don't need to appeal to the maximum number of people. So when people talk about, well, you know, I think you look better at this size, or I think your face looks really bloated, or it's like, who gives a shit? Of course my face is bloated. I'm eating a gigantic amount of carbs and I'm on a shit ton of gear. But one of the things that's interesting to that point is I kept telling people when they were saying, dude, your fucking face is really bloated. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm probably eating fucking 500 grams of carbs a day. Of course it's bloated. I'm on almost the exact same amount of gear that I was on with my face when I had balloon face. The only thing that's missing is 125 milligrams of tren. And my face is nowhere near as fat and puffy as it was 3 weeks ago. So obviously it was not my estrogen, it was not the steroids that was causing it. It was exactly what I said was causing it, which is a massive amount of carbs. Anytime somebody's in a fucking a big ass bulk, you're going to have moon face to some degree or another. I've never been able to bulk and have like caved in emaciated looking face. That's what you look like when you cut. I think that's a decidedly bad look. That's the thing to me, is that I don't mind having, I would rather have, I don't want to be like real puffy. Like I have admitted to my wife, like we were at the Gucci premiere, the Gucci Encore premiere, and I bought this fucking Gucci shirt that I was real proud of, and I was trying to take some pictures of it, and man, talk about bloated face. That night, my face was unattractively bloated looking. And so admittedly that's the thing, you know, like if I'm trying to look good in clothes, then yeah, I would love for my face to be more angular. But if I'm if I'm sitting here topless and I've got bloated fucking face and jacked fucking delts and fucking pecs and bulging out of my fucking skin, I don't give two fucks what my face looks like. And so I think that's something that a lot of you misunderstand, is that you want to judge my physique and try to reassure me that I look good at a certain body weight and a certain body composition, and can't understand why I'm so depressed. And it's because your opinion of what looks good is not my opinion of what looks good. I would love to year-round look like Jay Cutler did on stage when he won the Olympia doing that fucking quad stomp, where he was very fucking full all over his body. I would love to look full and a little swollen and puffy year-round, carrying a gigantic amount of weight on my frame. Like I said, I want to look like a freak. I don't want to be the most attractive person in the room. I want to be the biggest person in the room. I want to be lean and cut. Like, I don't want to be the biggest guy in the room at the cost of body fat. But a little water retention, edema, bloating, I could not give two fucks about that. So if you guys see me in the comments or making videos talking negatively about the way I look, that's the reason why. When I went to the gym last night, I was so fucking insecure. I always wear a t-shirt, like I wear a pump cover. So I wear like a little stringer top. You guys have seen it in my short videos. I wear like a stringer tank top, and I always go to the gym usually with one of my Trenbolone t-shirts over it until my muscles warm up. Sometimes it's actually cold in that gym. Until I start getting warm, usually a couple 3 sets, and then I'll take my t-shirt off and lift the rest in my stringer tank top. When I was 214, I was at a place where I was big enough to feel comfortable walking into a place without a pump. At 192, I absolutely do not feel comfortable walking anywhere without a pump. And so I went to the gym last night fully expecting that I would never take that t-shirt off. And at one point, I realized, you know, again, my idea of jacked is not everybody else's idea of jacked. I'm still the biggest person in this fucking gym. If I take my shirt off, I will definitely be the most peeled person in this gym. And So I did, and plus I got fucking hot. I hate working out in a t-shirt. And so, you know, I probably did my full first exercise of incline press, and then I took my fucking shirt off, and immediately I'm getting fucking nods, thumbs up, and that kind of shit. And then at the end of the night, this guy and his girlfriend walked up to me and tried to get me to sell them steroids. So I was definitely getting a lot of positive feedback from the other people in the gym, and that always feels good. You know, no matter where you are in your progress or your progress towards your goals, it always feels good to get positive reinforcement. But the fact of the matter is, it's still about what I want to look like, not about what's most palatable to everybody else. So I can have 200 fucking people tell me that I look great at 195. That's not going to make me feel any better about it, because I want to be 215. I cannot tell you how badly I want to get back to that fucking weight. My wife has already told me she thinks that I look better at this body composition and this weight. But she's not like gonna leave me over being 215. So I just want to come on here and make this quick video. I need to put some kind of content out today. I figured I'd give you an update about where I'm at, that I actually got in the gym, how I'm feeling, how things are going, and to kind of at least clear the air so that people better understand. Because I think for some people it's probably nauseating when I'm on here like, oh my God, I'm suicidal. Like, I'm so depressed. I feel so tiny and anorexic, and I'm so embarrassed of my body. Like, and you're like, fuck you, dude. You still look better than 99% of the people on the planet. And it's like, yeah, that's great. Admittedly, I know that I still have a really fucking amazing physique. But to me, it's kind of like the Dave Chappelle joke. Like, when you're getting frustrated with me, that I'm upset and disappointed about the fact that I weigh 192 instead of 215 with 6 visible abs, it's like Dave Chappelle, you know, somebody will be like, you know, you do realize there's starving kids, there's, you know, people starving in Africa right now. And he's like, yeah, but I still want lunch, nigga. Like, fuck. I can't be, I'm not gonna starve myself just because other people are fucking starving. You know, like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to be happy with a body just because it's technically on paper better than 99% of the bodies out there. If that was the attitude that I had, if my mentality was, oh, well, I already have a body in the top fucking 99 percentile, you know, so I can just fucking, I can kill it right here. Well, then I would never get to the top half percentile. Like, I would never achieve my goals if I was just happy with what I have. And that's why I'm always one of these people that no matter where I'm at in life, I could suddenly have one of my videos go viral, and I could become the next Greg Doucette, and I could be a millionaire YouTuber, and I could be driving around in a fucking Lamborghini and have a fucking custom built house and never have to worry about money again, and I would still be to some degree unhappy. I will never be satisfied in life ever. It's like in Fight Club when the guy talks about stagnancy, you know, fuck that. Like, I want to be constantly evolving. I don't ever want to be satisfied with where I'm at. I want to appreciate what I have, but I'm never going to be satisfied. If I have $1 million, I want 2. If I have 2, I want 4. If I have 4, I want 1 billion. If I have 1 billion, I want to be at 2 billion. You know, no matter where I'm at in life, I always want to be better tomorrow than I was the day before, which is one of the things that makes this sport really challenging for me, is because I want to get bigger every single month. And then I get to a point where I just can't grow anymore. And then the only way I can cope is by going, okay, well, I'm going to get as diced as I can get at 200. And so then it's a game of how lean and 200 can I be? You know, how there always has to be, I always have to have something to chase. The second I stop chasing, the second I stop wanting to improve, the second I start caring, start being satisfied, is the day that I'll just quit and die. Like, I would have no reason to go on. I can't even imagine how you could get up the energy. And that's the thing that blows my mind about natties. Like, these guys that are in the gym that I've seen that have been at this gym for 4 years have made zero progress. They're in there 4 days a week. how the fuck do you do it? I don't understand. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I eventually get to whatever my maximum is. And I legitimately can't gain any more weight. Like, I am terrified of that day because I just don't know how you maintain. I guess at that point, it just becomes I can't afford to lose a fucking inch. So I've got to at least do the minimal amount of work to maintain what I have. But it's definitely not going to be exciting, and it's definitely going to be a challenge whenever that day comes. And depending on how my liver plays out, that day may be here. So we'll just have to see. But again, just want to say thank you for everybody who's been attempting to be positive in the comments. I do appreciate the positivity always. Obviously, it's certainly better to have somebody telling me I look great than I look like shit. But understand why. When you tell me, well, you look better at this, you look better here than with that puffy face, I don't give a shit. I don't agree. Because another thing that happens, and this is the catch-22, is when I get to this size, I stop getting the puffy face comment, but I get the, if you could just get your pecs to catch up with the rest of the body, then you'd be perfect. And it's like, that's the biggest asshole fucking comment to make. I don't know if you can see it in this video. Well, you couldn't see it anyway, but I've got Arnold Schwarzenegger back here on the fucking wall. Arnold Schwarzenegger had disproportionately gigantic fucking pecs and huge biceps and like no shoulders to speak of in a lot of the footage and film and video that you can find of this guy. Everybody has a body part that is their genetic, their genetic gift. Mine is my shoulders. My shoulders are big and round constantly, no matter what. I can stop training them for an entire year. They will still be massive boulder shoulders. When you have massive boulder shoulders, you're probably never going to have pecs that are going to be able to catch up because my pecs are not my strong suit. If my shoulders were normal sized, my pecs would look a lot larger relative to my shoulders than they do now. I don't know why you people are so fucking stupid that you don't understand relativity. Our entire universe is based on relativity. So when you look at someone's body, with the exception of truly like Chris Bumstead. Chris Bumstead is an example of a guy who in his upper body, forward facing, I don't think he has a flaw. I think he has massive shoulders, massive pecs, massive arms. He has one of the most aesthetically pleasing physiques in the world because it is so proportionate. That's what makes him the greatest classic bodybuilder of all time. I'm not even competitive. I don't compete at all. I'm 43 years old. I don't compete because I know that I am not a fucking genetic marvel. So why somebody would come along in the comment section and go, bro, if you could just get your pecs to catch up with your gigantic fucking shoulders, it would be perfect. Yeah, no shit. And if I could just get my dick to be 12 inches long, and if I could just get my fucking bank account to be $1 billion, and if I could just get my quads to be the size of, what's the guy that fucking won the Olympia, the 212 guy? Fuck, whatever, Lunsford. If I had Derek Lunsford's quads, if I could Frankenstein myself and pick and choose the best body parts of everybody who ever lived, then man, I'd have a great fucking physique. But there's nothing that I can do about my fucking genetics. I have my pecs have come so far from where they started. But if I train shoulders, my pecs will never dwarf my shoulders. It's never going to happen because my shoulders are my genetic gift. So 90% of the time that somebody makes a comment about my undersized chest, I don't have an undersized chest. I have a chest that's relatively small compared to my shoulders. And this is the kind of shit that it's just like, I can't fucking go with the stupidity. I mean, I guess not everybody in the world studies physics and relativity or I don't know, like common sense maybe. Not everybody was blessed with that. That's the thing. My other genetic gift was my brain. I did not get Arnold Schwarzenegger's pecs. I would love to have them, but I don't have them. And so you could stop reminding me of it because I'm never going to have them. I don't think there is anything I could do other than cheating and using synthol, which I will never fucking do, that's ever gonna catch my pecs up to my shoulders. In the same way that 99% of you, probably 100% of you that shit talk in the comments will never, as long as you live, no matter how many steroids you take, no matter how many hours you spend in the gym, no matter how many calories you eat, you will fucking never look 10% as good as I do. So shut the fuck up with your bitch ass mouths. As always, thank you for watching and we'll see you on the next one.